Shubor nakaslem jong Nongsaiñ Hima.
Pradhan, Mantri, Kisan, Samman, Nidhi. Frequently asked questions. What is Pradhan, Mantri, Kisan, Samman, Nidhi? Pradhan, Mantri, Kisan, Samman, Nidhi is a new central sector scheme to provide income support to all landholding farmers' families in the country to supplement their financial needs for procuring various inputs related to agriculture and allied activities as well as domestic needs. Under the scheme, the entire financial liability towards transfer of benefit to targeted beneficiaries will be borne by Government of India. Whether the benefits of the scheme are admissible to only small and marginal farmers' families? No. In the beginning, when the Pmkisan scheme was launched on 24th February 2019, its benefits were admissible only to small and marginal farmers' families with combined land holding up to 2 hectares. The scheme was later on revised with effect from 1st 6, 2019 and extended to all farmers' families irrespective of the size of their land holdings. What are the benefits of the scheme? Under the Pmkisan scheme, all landholding farmers' families shall be provided the financial benefit of Rs 6,000 per annum per family payable in 3 equal installments of Rs 2,000 each every 4 months. When was the scheme launched? The Pmkisan scheme was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister on 24th February 2019, from which date the scheme has come into effect. The scheme takes effect from 1st December 2018. Who are eligible to get benefits under the scheme? All landholding farmers' families who have cultivable land holding in their name are eligible to get benefits under the scheme. Recently, via DO number 11/5/2024 FWS dated 31st 7/2024, the central government, in order to extend the benefits of the scheme to farmers under community and clan-based ownership of land in the northeast states, has enabled farmers in the state to apply for PMKISAN, provided they submit a certificate issued by the village authority, namely the chairman or chief, authorizing any tribal family to cultivate a piece of land, and such certificates should be duly authenticated by the concerned subdivisional officer. Who are not eligible to get benefits under the scheme? What are the exclusion criteria under the scheme? The following categories of farmers are not eligible to get the benefits of the Pmkisan scheme: all institutional landholders and farmer families in which one or more of its members belong to the following categories: former and present ministers, state ministers, and former present members of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislative assemblies, state legislative councils, former and present mayors of municipal corporations, former and present chairpersons of district panchayats, all serving or retired officers and employees of central state government ministries, offices, departments, and its field units, central or state PSEs, and attached offices, autonomous institutions under government, as well as regular employees of the local bodies, excluding multitasking staff, Class 4 Group D employees. All superannuated retired pensioners whose monthly pension is Rs 10,000 or more, excluding multitasking employees. All persons who paid income tax in last assessment year. Professionals like doctors, engineers, lawyers, chartered accountants, and architects registered with professional bodies and carrying out profession by undertaking practices. How many times the benefit will be given in a year? Under the Pmkisan scheme, all land-holding farmers' families shall be provided a financial benefit of Rs 6,000 per annum per family payable in 3 equal installments of Rs 2,000 each every 4 months. The period of first installment under the scheme is from 1st December 2018 to 31st March 2019, that of second installment from 1st April 2019 to 31st July 2019, third installment from 1st August 2019 to 30th November 2019, and so on. Whether an employee of the central state government, PSU, autonomous organization, etc., who holds cultivable land in his or her own name in the village is eligible to get the benefit under the scheme. No, all serving or retired officers and employees of central, state government ministries, offices, departments and their field units, central or state PSEs and attached offices, autonomous institutions under government as well as regular employees of the local bodies are not eligible to get benefit under the scheme. However, serving or retired multitasking staff class 4 Group D employees are eligible to get benefit under the scheme, provided their families are otherwise eligible and not covered under other exclusion criteria. Will there be any individual or farmer family owning more than 2 hectares of cultivable land get any benefit under the scheme? Yes, the ambit of the scheme has been extended to cover all farmer families irrespective of the size of their land holdings. What will happen if the beneficiary gives incorrect declaration for the implementation of the scheme? In case of the incorrect declaration, the beneficiary shall be liable for recovery of transferred financial benefit and other penal actions as per law. What is the cutoff date for determination of eligibility of beneficiaries under the scheme? The cutoff date for determination of eligibility of beneficiaries under the scheme is 1st February 2019 and no changes thereafter shall be considered for eligibility of benefit under the scheme for the next 5 years, except transfer of land on succession in case of death of landholder. Whether the scheme benefits will be allowed in case where transfer of ownership of cultivable land takes place after the cutoff date of 1st February 2019 on account of succession due to death of the landowner. Yes, the scheme benefits will be allowed in all such cases where transfer of ownership of cultivable land has taken place after the cutoff date of 1st February 2019 on account of succession due to the death of the landowner. Whether transfer of ownership occurred between 1st December 2018 and 31st January 2019 are eligible for consideration. In cases where transfer of ownership of cultivable land has happened between 1st December 2018 and 31st January 2019 due to any reasons such as purchase, succession, will, gift, etc., the first installment during the financial year shall be a proportionate amount from date of transfer till the 31st of March 2019 with respect to the 4 months period, provided the families are otherwise eligible as per scheme guidelines. Is an income tax payee farmer of his/her spouse eligible to get benefit under the scheme? No, if any member of the family is an income tax payee in the last assessment year, then the family is not eligible for benefit under the scheme. What is the definition of family under the scheme? A landholder farmer's family is defined as a family comprising of husband, wife, and minor children who own cultivable land as per the land records of the concerned state, union, territory. The existing land ownership system will be used for identification of beneficiaries for calculation of benefit. Is any person or farmer who is not having land holding in his or her own name but is cultivating land owned by his or her father or forefathers eligible to get benefit under the scheme? No, the land must be in his or her name. If the land ownership has been transferred in his or her name on account of succession, then he or she will be eligible. Is any person or farmer who is cultivating a land but is not having the land holding in his or her own name, for example, tenant farmers, is eligible to get benefit under the scheme? No, land holding is the sole criteria to avail the benefit under the scheme. How does the beneficiaries under the scheme will be identified and shortlisted for payment of intended benefit? The responsibility of identifying the eligible farmers' families for benefit under the scheme is entirely of the state or union territory governments. The prevailing land ownership system or record of land in different states, union territories will be used to identify the intended beneficiaries for transfer of scheme benefits. What is the mandatory information required to be submitted on Pmkisan portal for the transfer of benefits? The following information or documents are required to be furnished by the farmers for enrollment under Pmkisan scheme. Number 1. name, age, gender and category. Number 2, Aadhaar. Number 3, bank account number and IFSC code. Number 4, mobile number. Mobile number should be unique. That is one beneficiary, one mobile number, so that the information related to transfer of benefit can be communicated. How does a landholder farmer family knows that his or her name is included in the list of beneficiaries? The beneficiary list would be displayed at panchayats to ensure greater transparency and information. Further, states, union territories would notify the sanction of benefit to the beneficiary through system-generated SMS. He or she can also ascertain his status through the Farmer's Corner in the Pmkisan portal. What is the remedy available for eligible beneficiary if his or her name is not included in the list of beneficiaries? All such farmer families whose names are not included in the list of beneficiaries can approach the district-level Grievance Redressal Monitoring Committee in their districts for inclusion of their names in the beneficiary list. Further, the government has created an exclusive Farmers' Corner in the Pmkisan web portal www.pmkisan.gov.in, giving the following facilities to the farmers. Self-registration. Through this link, the farmers can submit their details online. The online form has certain mandatory fields as well as self-declaration regarding the eligibility. Once the form is filled in and submitted successfully by the farmer, the same is forwarded by an automated process to the DNO and the State Nodal Officer for verification. The SNO verifies the details filled in by the farmer and uploads the verified data on the Pmkisan portal. Thereafter, the data is processed through an established system for payment. Beneficiary status. Through this link, by quoting their Aadhaar number or bank account number or the registered mobile number, the beneficiaries can themselves ascertain the status of payment of their installments. In case of landholding owned by family members are spread across different revenue records in the same or different villages, districts, states, how will the benefit be transferred to the family? In such cases, the farmer's family will be entitled to get the benefit at one place only. The State Nodal Officer will ensure that no duplicate payments are released to any family. If there are multiple farmers' family whose names are recorded on a single landholding, whether each farmer's family is eligible to get benefit of the scheme? If so, what is the quantum of minimum financial benefit that such families will get under the scheme? Each of such farmer family would be separately eligible for the benefit under the scheme up to the extent of ₹6,000, provided they are otherwise eligible as per scheme guidelines. Will the monetary benefit under the scheme be directly credited into beneficiary accounts? Yes. The financial benefit under the scheme shall be directly credited into bank accounts of beneficiaries. Whether it is compulsory for beneficiaries to give their bank account details? Yes, the beneficiaries are required to provide their bank account details along with their Aadhaar number so as to credit the financial benefit under the scheme directly into their bank accounts. No benefit can be given if bank account details have not been provided. Whether giving Aadhaar detail is mandatory for availing benefit under the scheme? Yes, initially Aadhaar number was optional and not mandatory, and the states of Assam, Meghalaya and Jammu and Kashmir, where Aadhaar penetration has not been much, were given exemption from the requirement till the 31st of March 2021, by which time these states are also required to complete the process of Aadhaar enrollment of all eligible farmers as well as Aadhaar seeding of their data under the scheme. The central government has also provided an option in the Pmkisan portal where beneficiaries who had previously registered using their voters' ID could update their Aadhaar. However, this facilities was later removed. Now, Aadhaar is mandatory for enrollment under Pmkisan scheme. Can states, union territories provide certified lists of beneficiaries on the Pmkisan portal in phases or in batches as and when they are finalized? Yes, states, union territories can provide lists of eligible beneficiaries as and when they are finalized based on the eligibility criteria in batches or phases. The benefits will be released on regular basis based on the approved list provided by the state or union territories. Whether farmers in villages situated in urban areas are eligible for the benefit of the scheme, there is no distinction between urban and rural cultivable land under the scheme. Both are covered under the scheme provided that land situated in urban areas is under actual cultivation. Whether micro-land holdings are admissible for availing the benefit of the scheme. Micro-land holdings, which are not cultivable, are excluded from the benefit under the scheme. What is the prescribed mechanism for validation of information or declaration furnished by the beneficiaries? The state or union territory governments are free to decide about the appropriate mechanism or authority for validation of information or declaration furnished by the beneficiary. What is the cutoff date for minor children becoming major under the scheme? The cutoff date for minor children becoming major is on the 1st February 2019. Whether farmers may avail the benefit of the scheme against agricultural land being used for non-agricultural purposes. No, agricultural land being used for non-agricultural purposes will not be covered for the benefit under the scheme. What is the procedure of release of installments to the beneficiaries? An exclusive web portal, namely www.pmkisan.gov.in, has been created for uploading of beneficiaries' data by the state or UT governments. The eligible farmers may apply with the village patwaris, revenue officials or other designated officers or agencies and submit their required details to them. Nodal officers appointed by the state or union territory governments at block or taluk district level process the data and transfer them to the state nodal officers. State nodal officers finally authenticate the data and upload them in batches from time to time on the portal. The data of beneficiaries uploaded by the state nodal officer passes through a multi-level verification by the National Informatics Center, the Public Finance Management System, and the banks. Based on the verified, validated data, the SNOs sign the request for transfer of fund containing the total number of beneficiaries contained in a particular batch and total amount of fund to be transferred for that batch and uploaded on the portal. Based on the RFT and PFMS issues a fund transfer order. Based on the FTO, the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare issues the sanction order for the amount mentioned in the FTO. The amount is transferred to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries, held in destination banks, to the accredited bank of department and the sponsoring banks of the state or union territory governments using the PFIMS portal. The destination bank can be a scheduled bank, post office, rural bank, cooperative bank, or any other financial institution. The entire banking transaction is managed and monitored by the National Payment Corporation of India. If a farmer registered under the scheme does not receive any installment in any 4-monthly period for any reason, whether he or she will be able to receive the same later on? Yes, the beneficiaries whose names are uploaded on the Pmkisan portal by the concerned state or union territory governments in a particular 4-monthly period shall be entitled to receive the benefit for that period with effect from the 4-monthly period itself. If they do not receive the payment of installment pertaining to that 4-monthly period and subsequent installments for any reason, except due to rejection for falling within the exclusion criteria, they are entitled to receive the benefits of all the due installments as and when the cause of delay is removed or resolved. For example, if an eligible farmer's name has been uploaded on the Pmkisan portal by the state or union territory government during the 4-monthly period of December 2018 to March 2019, he or she is entitled to get the installment pertaining to December 2018 to March 2019 period, and also all subsequent installments. Further, if the eligible farmer's name is uploaded on the Pmkisan portal during the 4-monthly period of April to July 2019, he or she is entitled to get the installment pertaining to April to July 2019 period and also all subsequent installments. Many beneficiaries who have received installments pertaining to December 2018 to March 2019 period and April to July 2019 period were not able to receive the installment pertaining to August to November 2019 period. The reason for this delay was the mandatory requirement of release of all installments pertaining to the 4-monthly period August to November 2019 and onwards only on the basis of Aadhaar seeded data of beneficiaries. This work of Aadhaar seeding of data of beneficiaries had not been completed by many state or union territory governments. Therefore, the central government relaxed this mandatory requirement to 30th November 2019. The state, union territory government are required to complete the work of Aadhaar seeding of 100% beneficiaries by 30th November 2019 so that the beneficiaries are able to receive the installment pertaining to the 4 monthly period of December 2019 to March 2020 and all subsequent installments. Beneficiaries in the states of Assam, Meghalaya and J&K, now Union Territories of J&K and Ladakh, have been exempted from all Aadhaar-related requirements till 31st March 2021, by which time these states are also required to complete the process of Aadhaar enrollment of all eligible farmers as well as Aadhaar seeding of their data under the scheme.